apparently
Tried that
YouTube.
direction, whatever. Didn't work. Too bad.
Yeah, and apparently YouTube's getting pissed off at people who put that on there now.
What?
Mafia 2,
Oh yeah, no, I know. I had I think it
because
was
there's
Cookie
boobies.
Monster. Yeah, Cookie Monster was rather upset at me for LPing Mafia 2. And then I think Stalin got like almost got his account closed because
Yeah,
basically Sony still happened to own the copyright on some piece of like 60s music that they used in it. What the fuck?
yeah.
50 years copyright needs to expire at some point.
I'll laugh my ass off if it's Praise the Lord and Pass the Ammunition. Because
that
it's just a horrible song as it is. It's
that
religious indoctrination to your troops.
that
Woo!
would be quite comical per se. But no,
Yeah.
honestly, the whole music movie right copyright
Mm.
associations are all just a bunch of assholes, and I hate them with a passion.
Honestly, if I say if you're not gonna make money off of it, oh well.
Yeah, they just want to be douchebags, whatever. Anyways, let's go on to the next question.
Yeah. Uh, we know you're Russian, but how come you have no accent? First time I heard you, you sounded like you were British or American. Did you go to school in England, or were you brought up bilingual?
I was not brought up bilingual. I did go to school in America for senior year because well, basically, I wanted to apply to college in America. So yeah, there's that. It well, first time I actually came over to America, I was about 9 years old, and I was here for about the summer, like 3 months or so. So what ended up happening is during those 3 months, I was in a sort of like a mixed region. It was this nice little pit of hell in New Jersey that just sort of threw in Russian immigrants, uh, Hispanic soldiers, and people who traveled there to play on the golf field together. And basically, there I had enough. I had this one girl who knew Russian, and she basically sort of acted as a impromptu translator for a little bit. But after that summer was done, I could actually speak English quite proficiently without much of an accent, and I could read and write at like a fourth grade level. Which is kind of odd considering I recently read a statistic that says that's actually average for a high school graduate in America, which is just odd.
Sounds interesting.
I guess it can be said that I have some sort of a talent with languages. Then, probably. I don't know. I took a year of Latin in high school here in America, and I didn't really do any work in that class. I didn't know any of the words. I didn't know any of their grammar conventions, but I could still translate passages better than the rest of the class. And this actually infuriated the teacher enough that he changed the test format. So instead of just translating, we had to identify forms. And immediately my grade went from the best in the class to somewhere near the worst. Simply because I had no idea what was going on with the grammar of the language or any of that, but I could just sort of understand it. So yeah,
Yeah.
there's that. I guess I have a talent. That's my only real explanation as to how I don't have an accent.
Basically assimilation.
Yeah, I mean it's different people are approach languages differently, and the way I approach it is I actually have two different sets of sound in my mind in my head. I have a Russian set that I use for speaking Russian and an English set that I use for speaking English. Now what happens is the Russian and the language English is actually both branched off the Germanic branch of the language tree at a point where their sounds are different enough to be different languages. Not to mention that they have different alphabets, but the sounds are still pretty similar. So what most Americans do when they're learning Russian and what most Russians do when they're learning English is that they simply try and adapt the sounds from their language into the other language because it's close enough. People will still understand them, but they'll have an accent. And
Yeah.
I just don't approach the language learning process that way, and I think that's the only way you can really escape having an accent is if you clearly set a different set of sounds aside for each language.
Yeah. Fortunately for me, when I tried to learn German, it's Germanic language as it is, so that was easy for me.
Yeah.
But next question is, why did you start your playthroughs?
Um. Well, basically, it was summer. I had a lot of free time. I stumbled upon to Jeff's Guild 2 Let's Play because I was getting really frustrated playing the Guild 2. And I searched it on YouTube, and his Let's Play of it popped up. And then I really liked his Let's Plays, and I was sort of inspired to do one. And I started thinking of games. My first game, I was originally going to Let's Play Il 2 Sturmovik 1946, one of my country's games, and one that I quite liked the idea of. However, it turned out I was god awful at it, and it wouldn't have worked out too well. So instead, I wanted, I started looking around at other games, and basically, I looked through my Steam games list, and I realized that I basically had I had all the Total War games in there, but I've only ever played Medieval Shogun and Medieval 2. At the point, and a little bit of Empire. I didn't really play Empire because I could never get it to work on my machine. It would like crash every half hour, so eventually I just gave up on Empire. So I didn't really play that. But basically, I just saw that I never played Rome, and there's a bunch of people who claim that Rome is the best game of the whole Total War series to this date. So I decided to take them up on it and do a Let's Play of it. And that's pretty much how it started. And then I got posted onto Jeff's LP bar, and then Jeff actually started his own Rome Let's Play. Literally a couple days after I uploaded my first batch of, after I uploaded my first 8 videos. And the first videos are actually kind of bad.
Hmm.
Because what happened is I had to boost the sound on them a lot. And I tried to edit out all the crackles and the sputters in the microphone, because that mic really sucked. Now I'm actually on a different mic because that microphone died in the middle of me recording a Rome Let's Play.
Ouch.
Yeah, so I ended up recording, and then I was looking through my videos, and none of them had any sound. So, yeah.
Um, what goes into your choice for a game that you play?
Um, well, first it has to be fun, either by virtue of me liking it or by virtue of it being new. Like if it's a game that I've never played before, I'm probably gonna have more fun with it than when I replay it. I find that I lack the ability to replay games. Like there's people who like play through Neverwinter Nights 2 like 4 times in a row. I
Me.
played through it like once, and then I was like, oh, that was awesome. And then I was like, I'm never gonna do that again, ever. Period. No, not touching it. I I don't know. I don't have the patience or something to do the games again. So novelty is a pretty big factor. Most of my Let's Plays have just been, oh, I like this game and I haven't played it before, so let me make videos of it. Like with Minecraft, I started my videos of Minecraft 2 days after I got the game. With Rome, I never played it before. With World of Tanks, I started the videos pretty early after I moved out of the first Nooblet tiers, because those weren't really any fun. There's no point in showing gameplay of those.
Yeah.
Um, the other real constraint is that I should be able to run the game on my computer
Hmm.
in
Yeah.
such a way that it would be in high definition and still record. The other thing is I have like OCD or something. I can't actually play a game at a resolution unless I have all the settings maxed. So
I understand that, except for the StarCraft 2 for me, because it would cause fraps to lag the audio.
yeah, no. I mean, well, what happens is I start out in 1920 by 1200, and if I can't do that, I drop it down by 1680 by 1050. And if it doesn't work at 1680 by 1050, then I'm probably not going to do a Let's Play of it. Like, I wanted to Let's Play Cryostasis, but I realized that game barely ran without fraps. It ran at like 30 FPS without fraps. So with fraps, it would just be a lag fest. So I decided not to Let's Play that, even though I would have liked to. What else goes into my choice? Well, really, certain games are better for let's playing. There's the kind of games that give the player choice and let them do something, because from that you can actually get something interesting coming out where you make different choices than other people.
Hmm.
Like Mass Effect's sort of an odd example, because your choices in that don't actually make that much of a difference. Okay, maybe
The
your scars will glow differently, and maybe your renegade bar will fill up instead of your paragon bar. But other than that, like, squad all matters up until the end of the game, and
Well, not just that, it actually also matters like in the beginning and the story during the sequel, because I remember I was playing through Mass Effect and what was it? I was watching Joseph Stalin's one, and he didn't save like the Arachnite Queen. I did, and this person who was in contact with the Queen contacted me, and in his it didn't happen. And he didn't help Tally, and I did, and there was different dialogue options. And it's basically that one is more continuity.
yeah, no, it
It's,
really is. I
it's
imported my save game, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. They stuck that in there, but I mean,
yeah,
it's not like radical. You can't
no.
really change the course of the game with your choices, and there's very few games where you can. So
Mm,
that sort of goes into the game, but that's not really important. Like, for example, so far I haven't played a game with a character creator. And God help you people when I get my hands on a character creator, because me when a character creator is just the worst thing on the planet. I will
hmm.
spend like 5 videos just making my character.
It's like uh, what was it? Someone told me City of Heroes. Uh,
Oh my god, I
the
love that
you
game.
you s- the funnest part of the game is making your hero.
Yeah, no, I loved City of Heroes. Champions Online, not so much. But City of Heroes, I had a real love affair with. I actually played it for
Uh,
about a year, which is very long for me playing a game. The only game that I've really played for over a year would probably be Warcraft 3. The amount of custom maps on that basically made it a new game every single time I logged into BattleNet. But yeah, that's sort of in there. But yeah, I do love my character creators and loved City of Heroes. What else goes into the choice? Nothing
yeah.
much